Hi, this is Tim, and I have another question from a student. It says, Tim, I am a new real estate investor, and I realize that there are a lot of different areas of real estate to get involved in, whether it's commercial property, rental property for long term for passive income, buy and sell, vacant land. So if I'm just starting out, I'm kind of deciding between whether I should get involved with buying rental properties and hold them for cash flow, or if I should start a flipping business of buying with the intent to sell quickly. What would you suggest? Well, my answer to that first would come down to what is your passion? What area of real estate really excites you the most? Because that's going to be the area that you excel in. Because the reality is you can do very well in all of those areas of real estate if you're passionate about it. If you've got the determination and drive that you're willing to play full out and put 100% into it, you can make money in all of them. But since you've asked me what my suggestion is, I'll probably just tell you a little bit about how I came about understanding that buying and selling was the best route with me, because that's not where I started. When I first started, all I knew was about rental property, buying rental property that would lead eventually to financial freedom. So at the time I was working full-time in corporate America, and I started buying single-family homes, and I was investing in the evenings and on the weekends, and I was a go-getter. I found a private lender that would lend me the money so I could acquire these rental properties, and I got into it. And I was buying about 2 houses per month, and I was keeping them long term. I'd put a tenant in there and just keep it, and I was working my day job. And what I was looking to do was eventually replace my full-time corporate America income. And in fact, I wanted to double that income. At the time, that was about $60,000 a year, and this is back in 1994, and I wanted to make about $120,000 a year in passive rental income so I could feel like I was somewhat financially free. So I started buying 2 houses a month, 2 houses a month, 2 houses a month. And at the end of 3 years, I had 70 single-family rental properties. And there was a couple duplexes and 4 units in there along the way also. But I had this rental income, and I was literally running myself ragged. I had 70 properties. I'm trying to manage them. I'm working full-time from 9 to 5. And in the evenings and weekend, I'm buying houses and managing tenants and maintenance and all those things that come up with owning rental properties. And, some months I did pretty well. On the decent months, I would make about $100 per house in cash flow. So if I had 70 houses, I was making about $7,000 a month. Unfortunately, though, there was a lot of months that I didn't make any money. If I had to put a roof on a house, or if I had to replace a furnace or a couple furnaces or evictions or those type of things, there was some months that I actually lost money owning 70 houses. So it took me about 3 years to kind of wake up, is kind of how I put it. But after 3 years, I realized that I could not own any more than 70 properties in my inventory. And I just wasn't making enough that I felt comfortable leaving my full-time job, because even though I'd made $7,000 some months, there was other months that I didn't make anything and even went a little bit negative. So I didn't feel comfortable leaving my job, but I literally didn't have any more available time to manage more properties than 70. So I made a decision. This was back in 1998. I made a decision that I was going to take like 25 of my properties and I was going to sell them, because I knew I was buying about 25 a year. So I knew in 1998, if I wanted to buy another 25 properties, I needed to sell 25 of my inventory of 70. So that's what I did. I literally took 25 of the properties and I sold them. And I sold them rather quickly, quite honestly. I sold them in just a few months. And that's when my light bulb came on for me. Because in just a few months of selling those 25 houses, I put $400,000 of cash in my bank account. And it was literally a wake-up call for me. I was going like, wow, I was profiting $15,000 or so per house on every one of them that I sold. And I was going, wow, because the 400,000 was after tax. And I'm going like, here I am buying 2 houses a month, and maybe I put an extra $100 of cash flow per house in my bank account if I keep it. But if I sell, make $30,000 a month. So that's what I did. I started buying and selling 2 houses a month starting in 1998, and I literally started making between $300,000 and $500,000 a year for the next 7 years straight from buying and selling. So when it came for me, buying and selling is the way to go. Now, I'm all about long-term passive income. So what I did is I built this, what I call my money machine, which was my buy and sell business. Buy 2 houses, 3 houses a month, and it's producing $400,000, $500,000 a year in income. I literally quit my job in 1998, and I became a full-time investor as soon as I realized the income in this buying and sell business. And once I quit my job, I was buying 3 to 4 houses per month. So if I'm making, back then, if I'm making that money, what I would do then is I would take $100,000 or $200,000 of it at the end of the year, and I would go buy a larger apartment complex. I would buy a 20 to 40 unit apartment complex because I liked apartment complexes for long-term wealth. Because in my opinion, passive income from rental property is a phase 2 investing strategy. It's kind of like after you've already got your daily cash flow needs met, then you can start investing for the long term. So for me, buying and selling is the way to go because that produces big chunks of cash, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 a month. That's what I call cash flow. And then at the end of the year, go buy an apartment complex for long-term wealth, for your retirement. So that's my suggestion, but it really comes down to what is your passion. Because whatever your passion is what you're going to excel in. But since you asked my opinion, I thought I'd share a little bit of my story that buying and selling is the way to get started because that's phase 1 investing. Produce a little money machine that kicks off predictable income from buying and selling houses, wholesaling and rehabbing each and every month. That's predictable each and every month. And then as you build up your cash on hand, then take some of that cash and invest it in rental properties for long-term wealth. I hope this information helps, and we'll see you on the next video.